So recently I've participated in Xanderjam Game Jam. The theme was less is more and I really like this theme. My idea was the smaller the player, the more of the level I can access. And I made it top down. Here's that video. So for day 1, I made the base functions of the game and also little touches of polish that make a huge difference. I added acceleration and friction that make the movement buttery smooth. I had a player sprite laying around, so I decided to use it. I imported the tileset into the project, then I could start making levels after I have added collisions. So for day 2, I started by making an orb sprite to use and a little glistening animation for the sprite. I imported it into the game and coded it so when the player collides with it, the player gets 10% of its size smaller. For day 3, I tweaked the player collision so it looks better in a way when collided with something. I also started making another orb that makes the player more bigger. I planned on making a glistening animation just like I did on the normal orb, but instead I made this abomination of an animation. I imported the sprite into the game and coded it so the player turns 150% of its own size. Later, I changed that to 120%. With that, I also attached a camera to the player and added smoothing for that touch of polish. I made a main menu with a pixel type font. I added the player character into the main menu, and I started to animate it in Godot itself. I used a node called Animation Player and made the player float in zero gravity. I think it made the main menu more alive. Then I started to do level design. So for day 4, I started making another orb for variety in the game to keep the game interesting. This orb made the player smaller by halving the mass of itself. Then I exported the game to HTML and Windows and uploaded it to the Xanderjam Game Jam.